top task list, we can do the automation of regular activities like monitoring related task. We can create a task list and we can perform the uh, daily task. Same way, we have several predefined tasks also. So first, let's see what is a task list. Task list can be seen from the transaction code STC01, STC01 task list. So we are having several predefined tasks also. Task list is there. Suppose you want to see the basis related task, we can search it here, basis. So these are the basis related tasks: activating of the ICF node, system copy refresh, initial configuration, you want to security check, you want to uh, uh, SAP basis initial configuration, system check, initial setup, security related check, you want to basis security check. If I execute this task list, this task list will be having the task that check the system change option SE06. You are going to check whether the system is open or not. Check there is a no client 001 and 066. Check the client setting. Check the password of standard users. You have changed the password of standard users. Check SAP users with all configuration. So you can run this task list. In the task list, all the reports which will be used to monitor the system will be run and we will be getting a message. So this is a task list. Ah, like suppose a basis security consultant is there, he has to perform daily or maybe weekly, they have to run this task. So all the task is configured into one task list and where then we can run the task. Okay, the task list is getting. So here we got the information.
For this check client setting is CC4.
SCC4, yes.
What is task for?
Client setting like what is the product,
Copy,
what is the
copy.
production, what is,
Yeah, yeah. Go.
there is nothing like production system, quality system and development system. The quality system, production system, every settings come from SCC4 T code. In SCC4, okay, what happened whenever you are going to log in into the development system, you don't log in into the system, you log in into a particular client only. So the client settings makes the system as a development system, quality system and production system. Suppose I am having, you are having S4D, S4Q and S4P system is there. S4D, S4Q and S4P system is there. We just talk about S4D. This is your development system. This is your quality system. This is your production system. S4P. So you are going to log in into a particular client only. In this, maybe there are several clients. You are going to log in into client 300. 300 is your production client. So in SCC4 T code, it is mentioned here that uh, 300 client, no changes, no changes. In SCC4 T code, it is mentioned that 300 client, no changes allowed. So this makes as a production client. This makes as a production client. And suppose you are going to log in into the development system client, client 100. Here we are having client 100. So in SCC4 we are mentioned here changes allowed, changes allowed. So here we can develop the object, here we can develop program, we can do customization. So SCC4 is the T code, with that we can make the client setting. Normally the user is going to log in into a particular client only. He cannot log in into the system. Whenever his user is going to log in, he is going to log in into a client. So if you want to see the settings related to client, we can see the SCC4. So as a security consultant, we have to check the client settings, whether the, like here, uh, if I go to SCC4, we can check SCC4. Now you are logging into client 100. This is customizing client. This is customizing client. Customizing client means automatic recording of changes. Customizing client, it is saying that automatic recording of changes. So whenever we are going to perform any task, it is asking for a transport request. If I want to make as a production system, I can say no changes allowed. Or just before that, I just want to show you here. I didn't make any changes. Now I am going to perform BD54. I am creating a logical system. I am performing some customization. New entries. Okay. Save it. Whenever I am performing anything, it is asking for me the transport request and all this thing. Okay, I cancel it. I go to SCC4 and I go to client 100. I change it and I said that no changes allowed. If I say no changes allowed, no changes to the repository and clause client customizing, so my client role has been changed. My client role become production client. My client is become production client and I have saved it. So it means it is a production system. In the production system, when you log in and if you want to perform any customization, BD54, you will be getting a message. Changes to repository and cross client customizing is not permitted. You cannot perform those changes. So these are the security related thing. If you want to verify those settings, you can verify using the T code. And here uh, in the STC01 task list, we are having the security check task list. In this task list, all the tasks are mentioned, which task has to be done as a security
Sorry,
concern.
it is one question related to BD54
Mm-hmm.
transaction.
Mm-hmm.
If I change it, the client 100, this one, which is for development, and make it changes not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, after save, I already back again to the first step? I mean, now I save the situation, and I discovered I did the wrong action, and I need to back client 100 to be allowed to change and allowed to maintenance.
So everything will be caught in that audit. See, that's
Uh,
everything will be caught in the audit. So every company have the audit also. So that's why you have to run these task list. It means like suppose the client T 300 is here, you are going to change it. You are going to change it. Suppose this is a client 300 and you change it. You can change it. There is no problem in changing. But when the audit will happen, when the audit will happen, will happen, then there will be a security threat. Then there will be like uh, it should be not allowed in the production system. You should not allow these settings. So that's why we have to verify those settings. In the production system, you cannot change. In the S4P is a production system. Here we have all the data. So here no customization, no development. If we are going to change this client setting, then in audit, auditors are going to run the report. They can find the client got changed. Earlier it was development. You
yeah,
have, yeah.
I know.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is there anything not related to audit? So I need to redo what I did. I need
Yeah,
to
in
make the
development,
client play.
system you can do anything. In the develop, I mean to say, in the development system you can change it to any client, anything. But in the production system we have to be cautious. That I mean.
Okay.
In the in development system you can do changes. You can change the client, different clients. So we have different types of clients. Actually, all this information is available in uh, uh, you guys, you are attending little part. You 50% you are attending basis. Maybe you are attending 40% of basis. 40% you are attending uh, with the course of TADM 10. 60% is with TADM 12.
Well,
TADM 12 that you are not attending. That is the, because all the things here in the TADM 12 you are having the client, you are having the client notes, support packs. support packs. The actual activities are there: client administration, SAP notes, support packs. But no need to worry, I will provide the documentation related to this. And
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we will be having some time also, whatever activity you want, I can like show you how to perform those activities.
yeah. And the next time we will ask the training course via Philippines or via India.
Yes, via Philippines. Via Philippines is the cheapest course. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, to save money.
Yeah, to save the money. Yes, at least 5 times you are going to save the money, and immediately you can get. Okay, so we are discussing about executing above task list for automated configuration. So we can use the STC01 T code. Here we can define the task like initial setup, security check, Fiori setup. After maybe 1 or 2 days, we are going to set up the Fiori. We are going to set up the Fiori in our landscape. So we don't have to remember each and every T code. So what we are going to do, we will after maybe tomorrow we are going to set up the Fiori. To set up the Fiori, we just go here and we will search Fiori. So Fiori related task, we can get the task list and we can include like Fiori Launchpad initial setup. Fiori Launchpad initial setup. So you don't have to remember all the T codes, all the configuration steps. You can put into a task list and run the task list like here. Fiori Launchpad initial setup. So suppose I want to set up the Fiori. So I can just execute this task list. In this task list, all the things are mentioned. Create a workbench request, create a customizing request, configure the web dispatcher, create a system alias, activate the gateway or data service, activate the HTTP service, activate the services, restart the ICM, schedule the job. We can perform this activity. Task manager T code is STC01. STC01. Even we can create our own task also. Suppose in your organization some guy have to perform several tasks, monitoring tasks. So we can create like Z monitor, and then we can create the task here. Create a new task list. Z monitor. We can create our own, but now we cannot do because in the SCC4 I have uh, make no changes allowed. So I go to SCC4. So if you want to create your own task list, we can create of the task list. Suppose a basis consultant or any you are running 5, 6 transaction code or 10 transaction codes daily, you can create a task list. And suppose I am creating a task list Z monitor. Here I can include. Here I can include the task. This is the add a new task. In the task, I can run a report. I can run a event also. So uh, okay, task disk class name. So what are the tasks can be included into a task list? You can create and assign a transport request. You can create a RFC destination. SM59 you can do. You can use SE01, SE09. You can execute any above program also. That is SA38. Under that you can create a background job also. You can set the conditions. You can create the operation mode. You can create the above users. You can check the profile parameters. You can set the values of the profile parameters also. So If you want to create your own task list, we can go.
What's the difference between running a web program online or in TaskList?
There is no
Let's
difference.
say to do something like this.
There is no difference. Suppose you have to run 20 above programs. So the example here it is. Suppose I have to run 20 above programs. The example we can see here. I have to run program 1, program 1, then program 2. Then what I have to do, like suppose in this way I have to run 200 programs. So first I am going to SA38. I type the program 1, then again SA38. I am going and I am writing the program 2, because program 2 is depend on program 1. We cannot execute all the program together. So what we can do, one by one, or we can create a task list. In the task list I can mention. So in the task list I have to just execute one task list, and all the programs will be executed. Otherwise we have to execute one by one each of the programs. In the task list you have to execute one, not by individually or each of the programs. So you can create a task list one, and then you execute the task list.
Is this one? Is this scenario can be done via scheduled batch?
Yeah, so in task list you can create the background jobs also. You can schedule the things. You can schedule the thing. Now you are okay. So you can create a background job also here. You can create a background job. In the job you can schedule the thing. Background job is scheduling the thing. Suppose you are executing something, you execute the task list. So this task list is going to send some purchase order, some send order, or some receipt to a particular system that will be running after 1 hour, 2 hour. That can be included in here.
Yeah, I can see something here related to create a web user. So why I do this one via task list? I can go to the system directly and create it and task completed. Why
Yes,
I
yes,
should put some
yes.
activity like this one in the task list?
Yes, so suppose you want to you want to reduce the basis consultant. In your organization, we are having only one basis consultant or two basis consultant, and daily 200, 300 users are coming. Your company is very big company, so you don't have the time to perform this activity manual. SU01, you are entering the user ID. So what you are going to do, you are going to upload a file of all the users, and you will create automatically. All the users got created. Like if you can think that before running this class, I have created all the user IDs. No, I have not created the user IDs. If I have created the user ID train 01, 02, 03, 04 like this, then it has taken lot of my time, because in every system I just log in, I create train 01, train 02, train 03, train 3, train 4. I have executed a task list, and I executed a ecat script. That script has completed all the task. Same way, for simple things is okay. Like if you are having creating one or two user is okay. But suppose you have to create 200 user, 300 users. One user creation time take 5 minutes. To create 200 user, it is going to take very long time. So you can do automation. With automation, everything will be very easy and quickly. That is the purpose of automation.
Thank you for the more highlights.
Yeah. Like I can show you here also. Okay. Like here, execute training system setup. So uh, here I can mention, here I can mention how many users I want to create. How many users I want to create. Suppose I want to create uh, 200 users. I can mention here. So 200 users will be created with the password welcome 2023 or whatever. I execute this script. Number of users will be created with 200 users. So 200, I suppose I want to create 800 users. I will mention here 800. So 800 users will be created. Otherwise, what will happen if you are going to perform one by one? then it would be a very tedious task. SU01, I go, I type here train dash 01, train dash 02, then it would be very tedious and it would be very time consuming task. So you
So
can,
is it the customized program or the one just showed us?
this is the script, they created the script for this training purpose. So you can also create the script, you can copy the script, you can create your own script, and like you can have the input parameters. Like in this we are having some input parameters, we are having the input parameters like I have to tell, I have to tell the instructor name. So instructor, so whenever you are going to log in, you are getting some message on your screen. SM02, it is going to create a message. It is going to create the user ID, operating system user ID. It is going to create the SAP user ID. It is going to create. We can change the password. It will create the user's ID in S4D, S4P, S4Q, SMA, and SMJ system. Not in one system, in all the connected system. So this is one time activity. After this activity, everything is easy. So with task list, you can automate the regular task, and we can reduce the like burden on a basis consultant, or uh, and we can quickly process the things. So STC01 is a T code. Here you can create your own task list. You can add a task in your task list, and then you can execute the task list. Execute the task list. So the task list log you can check in STC03 T code. So we are having different T codes. STC01 to create the task list, and okay, let me show you STC01 task list. You can create your own task also. If you want to execute predefined task, there are predefined tasks related to, you can search with basis. Okay.
There are questions here, Sanjay,
Yes.
related to what is the electricity problem happened during running this task list? How can I know what is done, what is not done, what's created, what is not created?
I didn't
I
get.
already have some activity will go in sequence, and in the middle of this activity, I discovered that there is some electricity problem and there is electricity downtime.
Mm-hmm.
How can I know what is completed, what is not completed? Is there any way to help us to display what is running, what is not running?
Yeah, that's why I'm showing you. Like here, the basis system configuration check. I want to check the SAP system configuration. So I'm just executing this task list. In this task list, this is a predefined task list by SAP. In this, it is going to check the consistency. It is going to check the secure store. It is going to check the operating system. So you can see it is going to run the different T codes. I am executing this one. Execute. So I don't have to run the T codes manually. Everything is like automated, and we can check the log. Green means I don't have to check this one, I don't have to check, I have to check the yellow one. In the yellow one, I can check what is the problem here. I can check, or red one, stop profile parameters. Parameter of check profile parameter is missing. So wherever there is a red or yellow, yellow is just a signal warning, and red means there is something missing, so we can perform those tasks. That is your question or different? What?
يعني yeah, it's not
Not this one. Okay, so tell
can
me.
say it's
Yeah.
difficult if it is we have a problem in the middle, and you talked about creating 200 user in more than system. So if we have an issue in the middle, so I need to rewrite the code again or see what is missing. I can say it will take if we don't have something to display the outstanding action, the one which didn't
Yes,
start
yes.
it.
Yeah, in the log you can check everything. Suppose I'm like, suppose I'm running a script. So suppose there is some problem between, it has created 20 users. So in the log it is going to show you that 20 users got created and then your program got terminated. In the log we can easily check.
Okay.
So here also in the task list also, whenever we are going to perform the task list, there will be logs, logs. Logs you can check in the ST03 T code. So we have STC01 T code, and here we can run another T code, that is STC03. STC03. That is having the log.
03.
Uh,
It's not like this, I think.
STC
02.
02.
Before, yeah.
STC02. Okay. Yeah, STC02. So
02,
here,
I think.
yeah, 02 is there. So here we can check the log related. From STC01 we can also check the log. Suppose we have like perform some task, we can see the log. From there also we can see from different T code also. STC02 we can check the log from there. From here you can also see the log, like show the task documentation, what is the input parameter. Here we are having the log. Task list documentation, we can see the job related log from here, or we can see the display the full logs related to this. Suppose transport management verification, we can see the complete.
So all task lists created by SAP is covered all the business needs.
Yes, all the business needs. So suppose business config. So we have lot of task list, not only basis. You can find the task list related to functional things. There are thousands of task lists are there. There are thousands of task lists are there. You can include or more task list. You applying the SAP note, with SAP note you can include more task list. So some basic, like mostly we are using for Fiori. Suppose next day after tomorrow when we are going to set up the Fiori, so Fiori related, we don't have to manually perform all the tasks. We can just uh, like we want to set up the Fiori, so we can just Fiori launchpad initial setup. We will execute this task list and it will automatically set up the complete things. It is going to create the workbench request, it is going to create the customizing request, it is setting up the local, activate the gateway. Some of the services it has not completed. You can set a dependency. Suppose task 1, task number 5 stopped, then task number 6 is depend on task number 5, then task number 6 is not going to execute. So you can see here this task is stopped here, so another task is not completed, waiting to be executed. So like this you can have the dependency also. If one task is not completed, second task is depend on another task, then it is not completed. If it is independent, they can be completed.
Okay, yeah.
So STC02 we can see the not STC03, STC02 we can see the complete logs. And now we have exercise number 14. You have to create and execute the above task list by yourself. So we can go to STC01 and create our own task list. So you can create a, by specifying Z or Y is the better option, because Z and Y is customer namespace. In case of using task list to create multi users, each user supposed to have different roles, emails and so on. So how task list will manage that? General things you can specify. General things we can specify. Other things we have to manually assign. So general things we can specify, the user ID will be created with a extension number. But if you want to specify a different email ID like ABC, TET, if a specific format would be there like ABC1, ABC2, ABC3, that can be done. But if you want like very specific thing, Then we have to go to SU01 and then we have to assign. Like if we want to create a mass users in SU10T code, here we can create the user ID 1, 2. We can create multiple user ID. We can upload a Excel sheet also here. 2 user ID, 3 user ID. We can create it from here. But here we are not going to specify very different data. Authorization data will be common to all users would be there, not specific. So there is a common settings there here. And then if you want to uh, so 1 2 3, so here common settings are there. We cannot specify the different setting. To specify the different setting, we have to uh, manually perform that setting. Okay, so now we have exercise number